Pauly Shore is playing Richard Simmons. This is going down, and it's real. It's real. It's real. Now, he's been trying to play Richard Simmons for a long time. He actually has reached out to Richard Simmons, hasn't heard back from Richard Simmons, actually said for a long time that he was just trying to stay away from Big Bear and not be away from the public and not be involved with anything, right? And now Pauly Shore did a short film. The short film is coming out right away. You're going to see that very soon. In that short film, Pauly Shore plays Richard Simmons. And the project right now, it's called The Court Gesture. And there's a short film out there, you can see it, but then the actual biopic is moving forward under Wolper Organization. They're going to be developing it. But here's the hot take that just came up before we were live. Richard Simmons came forward and says, I didn't give them any permission to do this at all. I gave no permission. Pauly Shore, I never talked about this. I don't know who these people are. I'm just trying to live my life by myself and not be involved in the entertainment industry anymore. I'm trying to be like retired and done. And for me, this is messed up. They're doing this. But Pauly Shore said that he's been wanting to do it forever. He does like great. If you watch Trail, he looks just like him, acts like him. I mean, it's really great. Pauly Shore even said, I'm really excited about sharing Richard Simmons' life with the world. We all need this biopic now more than ever. Pauly Shore, yeah, the Weasel. The Weasel's coming in to be Richard Simmons. Yeah, Weasel Nation. But this is going down, everybody. Very exciting. I think it could be good. I think Pauly Shore could play him well. If you watch that short film, it's very, it's going to be airing. Well, they're going to do it January 19th. They're actually going to play it at the cabin in Park City. But then after that, it will debut on YouTube after that. So you can watch the whole short film on YouTube. And then, of course, they're going to branch off and do the feature after all of that. So it's interesting.
Is that a done deal? Is it greenlit?
It's greenlit. Yeah, it's going down.
Oh, okay.
It's going down.
Without his permission, that's pretty fucked up.
He's a public figure. I mean, you don't need it. People like to get permission just because it makes it, it
would be nice
in case keeps a libel case from happening or kind of indemnifies them. But I don't think they need it at all.
So, Mike, you hear about this. I know you want to talk about this topic. Are you excited about Richard Simmons having his own biopic? Do you think that's good that, we have someone like Pauly Shore playing him?
I think it's terrific. I'm a big fan of geez, my brain is not working. What's this guy's name? Pauly Shore is playing Richard Simmons. I always get confused with the guy from Kiss. Like, for whatever reason, the names screw me up. Richard, Gene Simmons. I get it confused. I'm a big Richard Simmons fan. Sincerely, I think that the level of enthusiasm, like there would be no SpongeBob SquarePants without Richard Simmons. Like, I think the world can use like fonts of energy like him. I fully believe that he was like incredibly sincere and was just bringing everything that he had to, I think, I don't know. I just think it was a cultural situation that like he thought that he could impact positively. I mean, I hesitate to comment because I do think that there's a lot of issues with self-esteem and self-image, and magazine covers, all that stuff wrapped up. And I think that Richard Simmons kind of saw some of that hurt, and he wanted people to be healthy, but also he wanted people to love themselves, and he just pushed it out there. So that's my rant on Richard Simmons. As far as Pauly Shore goes, right? He's Mitzi Shore's daughter, right? Mitzi Shore.
Yes.
She owned
she owned the comedy club or something?
Mitzi Shore.
Yeah, comedy store.
Yeah,
owned the comedy store. Yep.
At the comedy store, yeah. So he's got that little bit of nepo baby action. Oh
my God, so
look at that! Oh my God, those aren't even like. Are those messed with at all? Like,
no,
those are actually pictures of them. They look like the same person.
And that was a whole thing going online, like that people were actually asking for this, saying that they look so alike. It was like a big thing online. And then Pauly Shore was like, I got to make this happen because everyone says we look so similar. And that's why he was pushing for this production to move forward. And for me, it makes sense. They do look very similar. It looks like a lot better than, I know we talked about a long time ago about Will Ferrell playing John Madden. And that's something that's going down too. And I was like, he don't look like John Madden at all.
It's enough like him in some pictures, very similar. Some pictures very similar.
It's a natural path forward for Pauly Shore, is it not? To find a biopic that resonates with him, particularly because Richard Simmons, he was a total cartoon. Like, just in terms of, like, I don't know, like in improv, you'd go to a Richard Simmons character just because he's way bigger than life, and it can kind of make them easier to play. And Pauly Shore, like, totally known for the same thing, like just going really far out with the performance. So I would suspect, though Pauly Shore may not have the most incredible range, that he can probably nail a pretty dang solid Richard Simmons impression.
I bet he can. If you watch the trailer for it, you can see he does a pretty freaking good job. Just like the little bit that you can actually watch online.
Out? Oh, we should watch.
There's a trailer. Yeah, there's a trailer. A little bit. You can. It's actually pretty good. So it's fun. Yeah, I attached it to the email. It's okay, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
No, we wanted to watch it live with everyone. Not it's okay. I attached it to the email. Don't be a douche.
I was doing my homework with our guests anyway.
Damn,
I
Brian.
read that.
Brian's like, I did that, but fuck off.
Could he look any more like Richard Simmons?
No.
And Pauly Shore's had a bad life recently. I feel bad for him because he seems like he's going down. And we saw him live one time, and he looked like he was just losing his shit, like super drunk, just like out of it. Yeah, it's like I was like, oh, guys, like he's like falling off the stage.
Yeah,
so
early success, right? A lot of early success, then lose relevance. Like, it's not an unfamiliar story in Hollywood. Like, it's sad, but hopefully, like, he's older now. Like, he's probably had an opportunity to do some maturation, I would imagine. Like,
yeah, I hope he does well. Sabrina, what do you feel about this Richard Simmons, Pauly Shore situation? Does he match well? Yes, Part 2. I'd love to see that.
Hilarious. And also a sequel to Encino Man I'd also be into, just to be clear. I feel like Brendan Fraser is
also
right
having a
for
renaissance.
The picking. I feel like
that would be so
a perfect, super fucking weird, like, sequel 38,000 years later. I think that would be amazing.
2025.
So yeah, the resemblance is fucking uncanny. It's shocking. And honestly, to be fair, nice meme, bud. To be fair, I feel like there is such a, like, I mean, if you haven't been doing anything for a long time, right? AKA, Pauly Shore, and someone who has not actually really been in the spotlight for a long time, which is, Richard Simmons, except for, I will note this, he goes on the Howard Stern show, used to go on the Howard Stern show a lot. They're very good friends. And I think in 2017 or 2007, they got into a huge fight, and Richard left the show crying, and Howard was trying to get him to forgive him ever since, and he did forgive him, but not. It was a couple of years ago, not couple, but several years ago, but after that, they did have a conversation. But that was really the only thing that he did publicly for a really long time. So I'm not happy that he's not happy about it, because I wouldn't want something to be going forward about me without my consent or without my input, or I would like to have a hand in that, and if he's not interested in it, I think that's shitty, and I don't care for that part of it. But that being said, I think Pauly Shore will absolutely nail the part, not only because he looks like him. Right, of course, I want to see it too. I just don't like that he doesn't like it. Yeah. And I feel like Pauly Shore could absolutely embody him, when he was Richard Simmons. But who? What point of life are we going for? What is it going to be about? Is it from his early days? Are we de-aging? Are we aging? What's going on? You know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't know. But I feel like he would definitely do a great job. If you've been out of the spotlight for so long and you're like, oh, I have to do this, you better come with something, okay? So I feel like he will. I also will just quickly note, slightly off what I'm saying currently, but Eddie Murphy did a parody of Richard Simmons on Saturday Night Live when he was on Saturday Night Live, and it's one of my favorites of all time. So everyone should just check that out if they can. It's fucking amazing. It's obviously not Richard Simmons because it's Eddie Murphy, but it's a parody of him in his heyday, and it's pretty fucking amazing. People go on Howard Stern show. Okay, so normal people don't really go on Howard Stern show too much, unless they're doing a musical performance or something specific. But Richard Simmons and Howard Stern were very good friends. So they, he would go on because they were friends, and then that breach was broken when that incident happened, and he left the show crying, which was unfortunate, but they have since made up. But yeah, mostly Howard Stern shows are women who can queef 30 times in a minute, or
that is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just things like that, or like dudes who freaking have weird kinks, or like, it's impressions of it. It's not really like the same interview type situation that it used to be, if it ever was, really, to be honest. But it's they were friends, and he would go on a lot because of that. And then he had a really good Bruce Springsteen interview not that long ago. So it happens, but it's not really Eddie Murphy was savage. It's not really the same thing.
Like having fun in the middle.
It's evolved.
Like you having fun in the middle there?
I can't queef at all.
Have you tried?
Yeah. You can queef if you want to.
Something really fucking weird, like, you know what I mean?
Is that how that song goes?
Super weird.
That's how that song goes. You can leave that queef behind. I'm just saying. But I think it's very fascinating that they're doing this. And I think that, if Pauly Shore, the little performance I saw looks good, but if Richard Simmons doesn't want it, that's always like a thing, like, wow, I don't know why you do that. It kind of sucks for him, but I think it could be fun. The Weasel coming back and making it happen. And I agree with reluctancy of that. If Richard Simmons doesn't want it, then how do we even do this? Could there be a lawsuit? Queen asked. There could be eventually. There could be. You never know if Richard Simmons wants to go after him. But it sounds like he just, like you said, like, leave me alone, pretty much. Like, I live in my cabin in Big Bear.
Step back and do his thing. Like, it's just, it's I don't know. I don't appreciate the invasion of someone's privacy in that respect. But I don't. It is what it is, and like, maybe they'll get him on board. I don't know. I'm just saying that gives me a little bit of pause, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It's very crazy. It's exciting though. Pauly Shore, the Weasel himself, playing Richard Simmons. He's exercising that body. Exercise that body. Exercise that body. Come on now. And I think though, for him,
Weasel size.
Weasel size. Weasel size. Oh yeah. I think it's exciting.
Tell your
we'll check it out. We're going to find out more about the biopic coming forward. We never knew we needed a Richard Simmons biopic, and I hope there's plenty of jazzercise, and I hope that overall they get those colors right and the energy is there, and Pauly Shore dominates the role, because honestly, Richard Simmons is an icon. He deserves the best project ever. If someone's going to play him right, give it all, and make it the best project for everybody to take it in for generations to come.
Yo, player, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pep Star needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.